Recently, I've commented on big things and small things. The big things are the airplanes I sometimes need to ride on, where Boeing has a severe cultural problem, having alienated a lot of their workforce. The smallest thing that I've complained about is how Google has, through their periodic efforts to consolidate and reduce the number of products they support, made the user experience worse for both music listening and podcast listening in YouTube Music. One problem is critical with national economic consequences, and the other is just an annoyance. But they both stem from comparable issues within these organizations, a lack of empowerment to say, no, this isn't a job well done, and we need to step back and determine how to fix a problem. At Boeing, this problem is likely to lead to a change in senior management and, hopefully, a complete overhaul in the relationship of management to engineering and production, as well as a total reconsideration of Boeing's supplier relationships. If that sounds like a stupendously large problem, it is. Google has a much smaller problem, and one that is characteristic of the tech industry. It's been fashionable this year to be very cost-conscious. Tech investors are susceptible to the latest fashion, and they overlap across companies in the tech sector. This leads to behavior based on a herd mentality. In the case of Google, a relatively minor product took a hit to the user experience when the product manager, the tech lead, and the project manager should have gotten together and been adequately heard by senior management to apply more resources to the consolidation of YouTube Music and the podcast app in order to do it right. Minor problems like that are easy to set aside as a lower priority until they accumulate into a large problem, best to take care of it sooner rather than later. It's a matter of having the will to do the right thing, even when the consequences of not attending to a problem remain small. Boeing, on the other hand, is likely to fall into a need to have a government bailout of their commercial airliner business, and that bailout can be made conditional on the kinds of big root and branch changes Boeing needs to make. I generally stick to the concrete problems of project management, but these two situations illustrate that communication and building those lines of communication to the right people is an important part of every project manager's job. Product managers, project managers, and tech leads in particular need to come together and create a communication strategy to use when they need clear and unified communication to senior management, and management needs to empower their team members so that when communication is made, action is taken.